The woman's voice was as cold as the lobby's marble floor. It sliced through the building's quiet hum, turning heads and making Autumn Collins's blood run cold. "You brought a child to a corporate interview?" The question just hung there, heavy and suffocating. It wasn't really a question, it was a judgment. Autumn tightened her grip on her 5-year-old daughter Lily's hand, willing her own heart to stop pounding. She'd practiced for this day for weeks, researching Sterling Corp, memorizing its mission, and rehearsing her answers. She'd picked out her one good blazer, ironed it twice, and spent her last few dollars on a new pair of shoes. But she couldn't control the one thing that mattered most. Her babysitter had canceled at the last minute. It left Autumn with an impossible choice: miss the interview and her last chance to escape spiraling debt, or walk into the lion's den with her daughter. She chose the lion's den. "Yes," Autumn managed, her voice barely a whisper. She tried to sound confident, but she didn't feel it. "I'm so sorry, my childcare fell through. Her name is Lily. She's very well behaved and has a book to keep her busy." She pointed to the worn-out picture book in Lily's other hand. The hiring manager, a stern woman with a Ms. Albright nameplate, glanced from Autumn's hopeful face to Lily's wide eyes and back again. Disgust flickered across her features. "Ms. Collins, this is Sterling Corp, a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, not a community daycare. We expect a certain level of professionalism. This isn't it." Every word was a perfectly aimed dart. Autumn could feel the judgmental stares from everyone else in the lobby. Their pity felt like a physical weight, and her cheeks burned with a shame so deep it felt like a fever. She just wanted the floor to open up and swallow her whole. "I understand, Ms. Albright, I really do," Autumn pleaded, her voice trembling. "But I promise you my situation isn't a reflection of my work ethic. I drove 3 hours to be here. I lost my last job to downsizing, and I'm out of savings. This isn't just a career move for me, it's a lifeline. If you just give me a chance, I know I can prove I'm the right person for this job." Her words hit a wall of pure ice. Ms. Albright let out a short, disbelieving laugh. "A lifeline? Miss Collins, your personal problems are not our concern. Your lack of planning is. We need people who can handle pressure and show impeccable judgment. Bringing a child to a final interview shows none of that." Sensing her mom's distress, Lily started to fidget and whimper, pressing her face into Autumn's leg. The small sound seemed to crank up the tension in the room. In her nervousness, Lily's hand fumbled the small water bottle Autumn had packed for her. It hit the floor with a dull thud, and a small puddle, no bigger than a coaster, formed on the pristine marble. That was the last straw. "That's enough," Ms. Albright snapped. "Not only have you shown a complete lack of professionalism, but now you're letting your child make a mess in our lobby." Hot tears instantly sprang to Autumn's eyes. "I am so sorry," she choked out, fumbling in her purse for a tissue. She dropped to her knees, ignoring the sharp pain as they hit the floor, and started frantically wiping at the tiny spill. She was no longer a job candidate. She was a public spectacle, a failure. Ms. Albright looked down at her with an expression of pure contempt. "Don't bother. The interview is canceled. It's clear you wouldn't be a good fit for the culture here at Sterling Corp. Security can show you out." She turned on her heel, a flick of her wrist ending the conversation, and with it, all of Autumn's hope. Autumn stayed on her knees for a moment, the damp tissue still in her hand. The world narrowed to that one small wet spot on the floor. It was over. All the hope, all the desperate prayers, all for nothing. Slowly, she got up to her feet, her body aching with defeat. She took Lily's hand. "Come on, sweetie," she whispered, her voice thick with tears. "It's time to go." As Autumn and Lily shuffled toward the exit, a soft chime sounded. The grand elevator doors at the end of the hall slid open. The chatter in the lobby instantly died. Even Ms. Albright, who was enjoying her show of power, froze. A man stepped out. He was tall, wearing a perfectly tailored charcoal suit that screamed quiet expense. But it wasn't his suit that grabbed the room's attention. It was his presence. He moved with a calm grace, and his startlingly blue eyes took in the entire scene at a glance. The air in the lobby crackled with awe and fear. This was Logan Whitmore, the rarely seen founder and CEO of Sterling Corp. Ms. Albright's face went pale, then quickly morphed into a fawning smile. "Mr. Whitmore, what a surprise! We didn't know you were coming in today." Logan Whitmore's gaze passed right over her, landing with unnerving precision on Autumn and her daughter. He saw the tear tracks on Autumn's face, the slump of her shoulders, and the way the little girl hid behind her mom's coat. Ignoring Ms. Albright completely, he walked toward them. When he reached them, he didn't look at Autumn. Instead, he crouched down to Lily's eye level. The gesture was so unexpected, so gentle, that Autumn forgot how to breathe. "Hello there," he said, his voice a low, warm baritone. "I see you have a book. Is it a good story?" Lily peeked out from behind her mom's coat and nodded shyly. Logan smiled, a real smile that reached his eyes. The best stories are the ones we hold on to. He then noticed a crumpled crayon drawing in Lily's other hand, a little girl and her mom holding hands under a bright yellow sun. "Did you draw this? It's wonderful. You have a real talent." He rose to his full height and finally turned to Autumn. "I'm Logan Whitmore." "Autumn Collins," she whispered, her voice hoarse. "We're just leaving." "So I see," Logan said softly, before his gaze shifted to the hovering Ms. Albright. "Ms. Albright," he said, his tone calm but commanding, "would you mind explaining what I just walked into? Because it looked like you were scolding a woman who was already on her knees." Ms. Albright turned beet red, then quickly morphed into a fawning smile. "Mr. Whitmore, sir, I can explain. This candidate, Ms. Collins, came to her interview with a child. It was completely unprofessional. Then she let the child make a mess in our lobby. I was simply upholding company standards." Logan listened, his face a blank mask. When she finished, a long, tense silence hung in the air. He looked at the tiny, wiped-clean spot on the floor, then back at her. "Company standards?" he repeated, his voice dangerously quiet. "I started this company in my garage, with my son sleeping in a playpen in the corner. I built it on the idea that we value grit and resilience above all else. I wasn't aware our standards now include punishing a single parent for having the nerve to show up, or that our culture involves humiliating someone over a little spilled water."
He took a step closer. "Tell me, Miss Albright, where in our corporate values does it say we lack compassion? Where does it say we kick people when they're down?" The manager stammered, "Sir, I was only thinking of the company's image." "You were thinking of your own power," Logan corrected her, his voice slicing through her excuse. "And in doing so, you've presented an image of this company that I find repulsive." He turned his back on her, a clear dismissal, and focused entirely on Autumn again. "Miss Collins," he said gently, "I am so sorry for the way you were treated. That's not what Sterling Corp stands for, and it's not what I stand for." Autumn stared at him, a tiny, painful flutter of hope starting in her chest. "Thank you," she managed, "but she's right. I should go." "No," Logan said, his voice firm but kind. "You shouldn't. You drove 3 hours for an interview, and you're going to get one." He glanced toward his corner office. "With me, now." He paused, a flicker of memory in his eyes. "My own mother worked 3 jobs to keep us afloat. More than once she had to hide me in the back room of a restaurant while she finished her shift. People willing to do whatever it takes for their family are not a liability. They are the greatest asset any company could ever hope for." He offered her a small, encouraging smile. In that moment, it was about more than just a job. It was about getting her dignity back. If you believe one act of kindness can change a person's world, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. You won't want to miss what happens when someone is finally seen for who they really are. Walking beside Logan Whitmore felt like stepping into a dream. The lobby whispers faded behind them. His office was huge, with floor-to-ceiling windows showing off the city, but it felt surprisingly personal. Bookshelves were filled with worn novels next to business awards, and a corner was filled with framed photos of a young boy, his son. While Autumn was just trying to take it all in, Logan walked over to his desk, grabbed a fresh pad of paper and a cup of colorful pens, and brought them to a small sofa. Once again, he crouched down to speak to Lily. "I have a very important job for you," he told her seriously. "I need a new piece of art for my office. Do you think you could draw something for me while I talk to your mom?" Lily's eyes went wide. She gave a determined nod, a small smile finally appearing on her face, and got right to work in a big plush armchair. For the first time all day, Autumn felt herself relax. Logan motioned for Autumn to sit. "Now, Miss Collins, tell me about yourself. Not your struggles, your skills. What can you bring to Sterling Corp?" Being treated with respect was all it took. The humiliated woman in the lobby vanished, replaced by the smart, capable professional she was. She spoke with passion about her experience in project management, her ideas for the company, and how she led teams. She didn't just answer his questions, she had a real conversation, showing a sharp mind and a deep understanding of the industry. She had been ready for this interview, and now she was finally getting to prove it. Logan listened intently. He asked tough, insightful questions, and with every answer Autumn gave, his respect for her grew. He saw past the worn blazer and the desperation. He saw a fighter, a problem solver, exactly the kind of person he wanted on his team. After almost an hour, he leaned back, a slow, appreciative smile on his face. "Autumn," he said, using her first name, "you are even more impressive than your resume, and your resume was very impressive." He didn't hesitate. "The project manager position is yours if you want it. However, I think you're overqualified for it. A senior strategist role is opening up in my own division. It's more challenging, with more responsibility, but the pay would be significantly better. I think you'd be perfect for it." Autumn just stared at him, speechless. Tears welled up again, but this time they were tears of pure gratitude and relief. She'd walked in hoping for a lifeline and was being offered a ladder to the stars. "Yes," she finally breathed. "Yes, I would love that. Thank you." "Say you'll start on Monday," Logan said warmly, "and don't worry about childcare. My assistant will be in touch. We have partnerships with several excellent facilities, and we'll make sure Lily has a wonderful, safe place to be while you're here helping me run this company." The months that followed were a blur of positive change. Autumn was exceptional in her new role, quickly becoming one of Logan's most trusted advisors. The whispers in the lobby were replaced by murmurs of respect. Miss Albright was quietly moved to a role where she couldn't hurt anyone else's career. Logan's intervention had sent ripples through the company. Memos were sent out, and new training was implemented on empathy and supporting working parents. The company was changing from the inside out. 6 months later, Autumn stood beside Logan on a small stage in the company's new courtyard. Behind them, a sign above a bright, beautiful facility read, "The Lily Pad, Sterling Corp's Early Learning Center." Logan spoke to the employees, his voice full of pride. He said, "A company's greatest asset is its people, and we can't expect our people to thrive if they have to choose between their careers and their families. Today, we're making a commitment that here at Sterling Corp, you will never have to choose." Later, as others toured the new center, Logan and Autumn stood watching Lily run toward the playground. "You inspired this, you know." Logan said quietly. You built it, Autumn replied, her voice soft. You saw me when no one else did. He turned to her, his smile gentle. I saw a reflection of my own mother. I saw strength, and I'm glad I did. Autumn's story is a powerful reminder that your worth isn't defined by your circumstances, but by your character. True strength isn't about having a perfect life. It's about showing up with courage, especially when you feel like you're falling apart. Her journey shows that sometimes what feels like the end of the road is actually the beginning of a beautiful new path. All it takes is for one person to look past the surface and see with their heart, to change a life forever.